Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Krishna he went with Rukmini Satyabhama and he killed Murasur, Bhaumasur, and brought all the queens, all the princesses who were kidnapped by Bhaumasur. Also, Bhaumasur had stolen the earrings of Mother Aditi, umbrella of Varuna, and the Mandar jeweled peak of Mandar mountain. So Krishna he brought all of them back. He gave Aditi the earrings of Aditi back to her, and then because Satyabhama had requested, so he brought Parijata, whole Parijata tree, and Indra out of his foolishness he fought with Krishna and he was defeated by Krishna. And then Krishna he came back along with Dwaraka, along with Satyabhama uh, on the back of Garuda, and he married the 16,000 princesses. So that's what we discussed. So now in the 60th chapter, which is entitled Lord Krishna Teases Queen Rukmini. So Shukdev Goswami he describes that one day, Rukmini Devi she was personally serving Krishna by fanning him. Although so many maid servants are there helping Rukmini Devi, but she personally took the charmer from the hands of the maid servant, and she personally started fanning. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that in this chapter, Rukmini Devi, she's like a fragrant camphor, and she was crushed by the grinding stone of the words of Krishna. And that's how the wonderful, lovely, chaste qualities of Rukmini Devi came out. So that is the very wonderful conversation which we'll be hearing today. So we can understand that Krishna he wants to bring out the wonderful qualities from his devotees, and for that many times he put his devotees into difficult situations, into testing situations, into apparently very distressful situations. But when the calamity comes, when the problem comes, then the actual devotional qualities they come out. So whatever we have imbibed in our process of devotional service, it will come out when the problems will come. If we have imbibed the actual true essence of Krishna consciousness, then those qualities will come out. Otherwise, when problem comes, we may get distracted, we may get sad or morose. But it is said that when a problem comes, when difficulty comes, devotees they take it as an opportunity for their internal growth. for praying to Krishna intensely, for begging for the mercy of Krishna. And in this, Rukmini Devi, because she felt when she heard the words of Krishna, she felt so very sad. But then she became composed hearing the pacifying words of Krishna, and then she started speaking so many things. So Jiva Goswami, he describes that this incident happened after the marriage of Aniruddha. So that means after many, many years of marriage. So Aniruddha is a son of Rukmini Devi, and she and he was getting married. So that means Rukmini Devi and Krishna must be very older. Even at that time, Krishna is making such wonderful conversation. So Sukadeva Goswami continues that unborn supreme personality of Godhead, who is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of everything, just to enjoy some pastimes, he is appearing in this world in the family of Yadus, and he is preserving his own laws. Whatever laws Krishna has made, he is appearing and he is following those laws only. So the word used is setu, dharma sahi jata swasetunam. So swasetunam, setunam is very important word. So setu can mean boundary or limit. So just like in the fields, there is a elevated border of the mud, which is used to, which is used so that the water, which is made so that the water may not deviate. Similarly, the laws of the nature, they are there to help us so that we may not deviate from the path of dharma. One another meaning of the word setu is bridge. So the laws of God, they act as a bridge to take us from the material life to the spiritual life. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So all the dharmic scriptures, all the laws, they are ultimately meant to take us to the spiritual life. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayopakalpate. So dharmasya dharmekantasya kamo labhai hi smritaha. So dharma is only for liberation. It is not for sense gratification. So then Shukadeva Goswami describes the beauty of the palace of Rukmini Devi. So of all the various palaces, the 16,108 palaces were there in Dwarka, just for the queens. And of all those palaces of Rukmini, it was, very, very beautifully described because it is little more opulent. So it is described that in the palace of Rukmini, there is a canopy which is hung and it has a brilliant string of pearls, and then there were so many garlands of jasmine, which were strung here and there, and they are making the entire palace full of the fragrance. There were effulgent jewels, and there was no need of the lamps because the effulgence was coming from the jewels. And because of the fragrance of the garland, the bees were coming in. So one time Srila Prabhupada was in Calcutta temple, and in Calcutta temple, the deities, they were worshipped very nicely, and devotees had put very nice garland on the deities, and behind the deities there was a window. So the bumblebees, they were coming inside from those windows and sitting on the garland of the deities for some time and then going out. So Srila Prabhupada, he commented once, when the black bees, they come, that means Krishna is pleased with our devotional service. So in the palace of Rukmini, bumblebees were coming, and it is described that it was evening time when this conversation took place, because the rays of moon were entering through the window. It was the evening time, and the beautiful fragrance of aguru was there in the entire palace, which was making the entire palace fragrant. Along with that, along with the breeze, there was a beautiful fragrance of parijata flowers, because parijat tree was there in the garden of Krishna. So along with the breeze, the fragrance of parijat flowers, along with all the other fragrant flowers, it was entering into the palace, and it was creating a very, very celestial atmosphere. It was a mood of garden within the room. You know, that is the beauty of Krishna's palace. And there, Rukmini Devi, she was serving Krishna, Supreme Lord, her husband, very nicely, fanning him. And Krishna, as you can see in this picture, he was reclining on the pillow, very opulent pillow. It was as white as the foam of milk. It was soft and white. So Rukmini Devi, she was the fanning with a yak tail fan, and she was worshipping Krishna, Supreme Lord, because she knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's the Lord of all the universe. And as she's moving the charmer, her hand, she was adorned with beautiful rings and bangles, and and it was creating a very nice sound. In this way, Rukmini Devi is described. And as Rukmini Devi is goddess of fortune herself, and she only desires the pleasure of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So therefore, Krishna, when he saw that, oh, Rukmini Devi is serving me so very nicely, he was also very happy, and he smiled at her. And he wanted to experience and cherish some of the other nature of Rukmini Devi. So he started speaking. He said, "Oh dear princess, you are sought after many, many powerful rulers. So many of the rulers, they were eager to marry you. And these rulers, they had political power, influence, wealth, beauty, strength, generosity. And actually, your brother, he offered you to Shishupal. And he was also very, very powerful, and he was mad after you. He was maddened by Cupid, and he wanted to marry you. But still, why did you choose us?" So now, just imagine the scenario. Rukmini Devi, she is a grandmother. She is married, and her sons are there. They are also married now. And before that, Pradyumna, he was also born. So she was a grandmother. And now Krishna is making all these fun. He is telling, why did you choose us? We are not equal to you. So Krishna is telling, actually, you think you are very intelligent, and you are endowed with so many good qualities, and you are thinking you are very intelligent, but let me tell you, you are ignorant. You made a wrong decision. Why do I say this? Just listen. So he continues, says, out of fear of those kings, we took shelter in the ocean. And we have become enemies with so many powerful men. And actually, we have practically abandoned our throne. So what is the Lord's mentality behind all these words? He was thinking, when I gave Rukmini one parijat flower, one Narad Muni came and he brought one parijat flower and gave to Rukmini. Satyabhama, she became so angry that she demanded for whole parijat tree. And Krishna was thinking, I could not even pacify her even by bowing down in front of her. I had to bring whole parijat tree. But when I brought parijat tree, Rukmini Devi, she did not, express any envy. She was always happy serving me, in such a loving way. She never displayed any anger. So Krishna, he wanted to enjoy the nectar of the angry words of Rukmini. And that's why he is speaking all these things so that he is able to provoke her anger. So he's telling, we have given up our throne also, because when Krishna he killed Kamsa, he could have become the king, but he gave that royal throne to Ugrasen. He humbly gave that. He was entitled for it, but he gave that throne to the to Ugrasen. So then he said, women who are destined to suffer, they actually stay with men who are improper in their behavior, and those men who pursue the path which is rejected by the society, objected by the society. So Krishna is saying, look, my behavior was not proper, and my path was rejected by the society, objected. How? I did not follow the proper social behavior. I tried to kill your brother, and then I was with other men's wives. Such a objectionable behavior I had, and you have decided to be with me. So women who are destined to suffer in this world, they only select husbands like that. So then Krishna, he continues, he says, Nishkinchana vayam shashvan nishkinchana janapriya tasmat prayana nahyadhya mam bhajanti sumatyame. He's telling, Nishkinchana, we have no material possessions. Look, all those things, they are so very powerful, wealthy, mad after you. We have no material possession. Nishkinchan. Everything is belonging to Ugrasena. We have nothing. And Nishkinchana Janapriya, and we are, you know, dear to only those who are also beggars, who have nothing. Tasmat Prayana Nahiyadhya, therefore, O slender waisted one, O Sumadhyama, I am worshipped only by those who are beggars, not by wealthy people. Na Adhya. Adhya means wealthy people, they never worship me. Yeah. So, in the purport, Hridayanand Maharaj writes that the devotees of the Lord, they are not interested in any material sense gratification. They are just interested in serving the Lord. And similarly, Lord is also not interested in anything material. He's just eager to reciprocate with the devotion of his devotees. And Krishna continues. He says, Athatmanoanurupam vai bhajasva kshatriyarshambham yena tvam ashisa satya iha mutra chalapsyase. He's telling that now, actually before that he tells that, I am loved only by the devout people who are beggars. So therefore, marriage and friendship, it should happen only between equals. Equal in wealth, equal in birth, equal in behavior, social status. It should never happen between a superior and inferior. So therefore you made a mistake. I am so inferior, I have no material qualifications, no material possessions, So he's telling, look, your father and grandfather, they are very wealthy. My father, Vasudev, he had nothing. He was imprisoned in the palace, in the prison of Kamsa. I had no wealth. You are wealthy. Still you married me. And you are coming from a great dynasty, and I am coming from a Yadava dynasty, not such a great. Your father, he had jurisdiction over so many places, so many countries and kingdoms headed by Kundina. And I had nothing. We have only this Dwarka. So we are no way equal to you. You are fair complexioned, I am dark. So therefore, why you took this decision? Your prosperity It will never get destroyed. It is assured because you are coming from a very great family. But our prosperity, there is question because I have so many enemies. They may anytime attack. They may anytime, defeat me. So actually, oh Vaidarbhi, you are not far-sighted. You have made a wrong decision. Vaidarbhi tadavigyaya tvaya adirghaya samikshaya adirgha samikshaya. You are not far-sighted, and you have made a mistake. We had no good qualities, and still you had chosen us. It is a wrong decision. Therefore, now he's telling, अथात मानो अभी भी समय है. He's telling Rukmini Devi, अभी भी समय है. Still there is time. You are still young. Choose a proper husband. Choose a suitable husband who is still young, who is wealthy, and who will take care of you, who will be according to your status. And then, hearing all this, Rukmini Devi she asked, then why did you marry me? If you are not equal to me, then why did you marry me? So Krishna tells, look, those kings like Shishupal, Dantavakra, Shalva, Jarasandha, Rukmi, they were all envious of me. They were envious of me, and just to destroy their pride, just to remove their ignorance, I fought with all of them, I defeated all of them, and I kidnapped you. I had nothing to do with you. I just wanted to teach them a lesson. That's why I, married you. And you should not worry that you will suffer if you will give me up. If you take another person as per your standard, you will not suffer, and I will also not suffer. You know why I will not suffer? Because I am already indifferent. I have nothing to do with any body, anything related to the body. All my family, my wife, I am indifferent to all of them. We don't care for our family members. So therefore, don't worry that I will suffer. So Shukdev Goswami says, then when Rukmini Devi, she heard all these words, she started becoming worried and anxious. She started thinking that Lord, he had never left me, and she was developing little pride. And she always thought that I am so very blessed that Lord is always with me. He never leaves me. She started developing little pride. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that she was thinking that although I have no good qualities, but still I am so very fortunate that I must have some qualities. That's why Lord married me. So she developed a little sense of pride. So that's how it has come repeatedly that whenever Lord sees his devotees becoming proud, even in the case of gopis, the highest of all the devotees, when they became proud, Krishna left them in the middle of Rasa Leela. When Rukmini Devi, she is thinking, oh, I must have some qualities. Are kuch to honge gun. That's why Krishna married me. Just like one time devotees asked Prabhupada, what was our qualification that we we got a chance to practice Krishna consciousness? So that devotee was thinking maybe Prabhupada will glorify, oh, you had so many good qualities, that's why you got this practice, the chance to practice. Prabhupada said you had no qualification. I made your qualification. So therefore, Krishna, he never likes his devotees becoming proud. And whenever a tinge of pride comes, Krishna takes care that it is destroyed. Whenever a devotee does something wrong, does some mistake, becomes proud, and if he has practiced genuine devotional service, immediately somebody will come and correct him. If nobody is coming to correct, that means there is some problem. That means we have not practiced Krishna consciousness properly. It is said that if a devotee makes some mistake, does some offense, and he is not chastised, he is not corrected, that means Krishna is so upset with him that he is not even doing anything to correct that devotee. Otherwise, Krishna will immediately send somebody to correct us. So Rukmini Devi, now because she is becoming a little proud, Krishna, he is speaking all these words. And Rukmini Devi, she had never heard anything like this from Krishna. She became frightened. A tremor arose in her heart. She became extremely anxious, and in the anxiety, she began to cry. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that in love, there are two types of love. There is a Dakshinya love, and there is a Vama. So right-handed and the right wing and left wing. Just like there are right wing gopis and the left wing gopis. So the right wing gopis, they are always surrendered to Krishna, headed by Chandravali. They are always surrendered, submissive, they never show any anger. But left wing gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani, she always, she has a mood of becoming angry. So Rukmini Devi, she is a Dakshinya Prema. She is a manifestation of Dakshinya Prema. Right-handed, right-winged. So she never shows any pride, any anger. Immediately she became fearful that why Krishna is speaking all this. She became so much worried that she could not handle. With her feet, with her foot, she started scratching the ground in extreme anxiety, and she could not speak anything. Her voice choked up. She was so very sad and sorrowful. And overwhelmed with such anxiety, she could not maintain her composure. She fell unconscious. She fainted practically. Actually, Krishna, he did this just in a joking way so that he could see the angry nature of Rukmini, but Rukmini could not understand this joke, this humor. Actually, it was impossible. Krishna was telling Rukmini that you marry somebody else, but it was impossible for him. He was doing it all in a joking way because they already had sons and grandsons. So when Rukmini Devi, she fell unconscious, immediately Krishna manifested two more hands. And he got down and bent down and lifted her up very, lovingly. He caressed her face, because when she fell down, all the hairs also were scattered. So he lifted her up and then put her on his lap, took care of her nicely, and then wiping her tears, Lord said, "Oh, Vaidarbhi, please do not get displeased. I just spoke out of jest. I was just joking with you. Why are you taking all this seriously? I just wanted to see your beautiful face trembling with anger. That's why I spoke all these words." Somebody may ask, if that was the desire of Krishna, then why Rukmini Devi did not comply with the desire of Krishna? She could have manifested anger because Krishna wanted it. Although Krishna wanted to see the anger of Rukmini, but the Ichha Shakti of the Lord, it was overpowered by the prema of Rukmini Devi. So when prema and Ichha Shakti, love of a devotee and the desire of the Lord is there, the love overpowers the Ichha Shakti of the Lord. And sometimes the devotees, they do things which are undesirable for the Lord, but just to increase the mellow of love. So Rukmini Devi, when she heard this, she may be thinking, if you were unhappy with my services like fanning and you wanted to derive pleasure when I give up my services, and I was smiling and very nicely talking to you, and you wanted to see me angry, is this your nature? So Krishna may tell, Krishna was anticipating such type of response. Why are you behaving like this? Is this your nature? I was speaking so very nicely to you and you wanted to see me angry. I was serving you nicely and you wanted to, see how I give up my services. So Krishna, he responds, he says, look, in the household life, the greatest pleasure of a householder is to spend time joking with their wives. That's the only greatest pleasure a householder has. Ayam hi paramo labho griheshu grihamedinam yannarmyariyate yama priyaya bhiru bhamini. So again he is using the word bhamini. Bhamini again means angry, passionate and temperamental women. So still he is teasing Rukmini. He is calling her Bhamini. Although she is so very loving, gentle, not showing any anger, but still he is teasing. He is telling her it is a greatest pleasure for a householder. So therefore, when Rukmini Devi she was completely pacified, she understood, okay, Krishna was making some fun, some joking words he was speaking. So he became composed and he smiled very shyly, and then she started speaking. And now she very nicely refutes all the various arguments which Krishna has given. So Sridhar Swami, he lists down the various arguments which Krishna had given, how he was disqualified to marry Rukmini Devi. And one by one, Rukmini Devi dismantles all the arguments in a very, very logical way. It is such a very sweet conversation which is going to happen. How Rukmini Devi, she is going to reply and refute all the various arguments, various words which Krishna had spoken. So, Rukmini Devi, she starts refuting the various arguments. So, Krishna, he had spoken that actually I am not equal to you. Incompatibility. I was not compatible. What comparison is there between you? You are such a great, I am nothing. She is telling, oh my Lord, it is true, whatever you have told. What comparison can be there between you and me? I am a mundane woman. You are the Supreme Lord. We can never be equal, certainly, because nobody can be equal to the Supreme Lord. Actually, you are full of all the opulences. You are complete reservoir of all the opulences in full infinity. And actually, you are Trayadhisha, you are controller of the gunas, and I am controlled by the gunas. I am vastly inferior to. Actually, out of her humility, she is telling like this. Because she is the controller of the gunas. She is controlling. She is actually the internal potency whose expansion is the Maya Devi. So out of her humility, she is speaking like this. And she's telling that now she'll dismantle the second argument, where Krishna told that when out of fear, I was so very afraid and I, took residence in middle of the ocean out of fear of those kings. Rajabhyo bhipyata subru samudram sharanam gatam. Out of fear of the kings, I took shelter in the ocean. So now she's telling, yes, my lord Urukrama, you laid down within the ocean as if you were afraid of those kings. But actually, you are afraid that your devotees, they will become controlled by the modes of material nature. So therefore, you enter into the ocean of your devotees' hearts so that you can protect them. You can protect them from the, various types of impetus and the desires which may enter in their ocean. As Bhagavad Gita describes, Apuryamanam Machala Pratishtam Samudramapa Pravishanti Advat Tadvad Kamayam Pravishanti Sarve Sashanti Mapnoti Nakama Kami. So, just like the desires enter the, just like rivers enter the ocean, so many desires keep entering the heart. So Krishna is fearful that devotee may come under the influence of the modes of material nature and may become entangled in sense gratification. So let me enter their hearts. and protect them. So that's what she's telling, that you are so very compassionate that you are entering the heart of your devotees, which is like ocean. And then she's telling the third argument. So Krishna had told that, why you married me? I'm always quarreling with powerful kings. Balvadhi Kritadveshan, and so many kings have become inimical towards me. And my future is very dark. Anytime they can come and defeat me. So Rukmini Devi, she's telling that, oh sorry, in the slide there is something wrong. So she's telling that actually you are always battling with powerful material senses. Our senses, that senses of devotees, they are very, very powerful, and you are always helping your devotees and fighting against all those powerful senses. You are trying to always help them in their struggle with the material sense gratification. That is your merciful nature. So therefore, in this, Rukmini Devi is telling how Lord is so very eager to help the devotees. As Krishna is telling to Uddhava, Badhyamanopi madbhakto vishayairajitendriya prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayairnabhibhuyate. So he's telling that my devotee, although Badhyamano is bound by sense gratification, he is not able to control the senses, but still, because he is engaged in my devotional service, he will not be defeated. It is a fact. In the ultimate end, a devotee will become successful. And then Krishna had told you, look, I have abandoned my kingdom. I have given my kingdom to Ugrasena. We have renounced Tyakta Nripasanan. Asan chhod diya hai Raja ka. So Rukmini Devi is telling, Arey, what to speak of you, O my lord? Even your servants, they stay far away from material possessions. So what to speak of you? You don't care anything of the material possessions, because it is known, it is seen in the world, when somebody gets power may corrupt the mind. So therefore devotees are not at all interested, and just like you are not interested in anything material, therefore your devotees are also like that. As Kunti Maharani tells, Janma Ishware Shruta Shri Bhi Redamana Madapama Naivaratya Vidhatum Vai Twama Kinchana Gochara. High birth, opulence, lots of wealth, beauty, knowledge, they may make a person proud. So devotee is not interested in any of these things. And then she continues. The fifth argument, she tells that Krishna had told that actually I am not acting according to the ordinary standards of behavior. So therefore, no ordinary women will follow a person, a husband, will take a husband who is not following the ordinary standards of behavior. Aloka patham. So she's telling that, oh my lord, your activities are always transcendental. They are actually not clear. Nobody can understand why you are doing something. Even what to speak of ordinary humans, even great sages are not able to understand why Krishna is doing what he is doing. Uddhama bhava pishunamal, Uddhava is telling, Karmanani hasya bhavo bhavasyate durga shrayothari bhayat palayanam kalat manoyam pramadayutashrama swatman rate khidyati dhirvidamiha. Krishna is, Supreme Lord. He has nothing to do in this world. Still he is working. Karmani anihasya. He is unborn. Still he takes birth. Out of his fear personified, runs away, and he is running from the battlefield. He is self-satisfied. Still he is marrying so many wives. Khidyati dhir vidamiha. Even great sober sages are also confused why Lord is doing like this. So if great sages are not able to understand, what to speak of ordinary humans? How can we understand, why you are behaving in such a way? It is unclear. Then she tells, "Oh my lord, you told that you have no material possessions. Nishkinchana vayam sashvan. Actually, you have nothing to possess because there is nothing beyond you. You know, if there is something beyond you, then you will possess that, right? You know, everything is inside you. This entire cosmic manifestation is coming from you only. द्रव्य काल कर्म स्वभाव जीव एव च वासुदेव परोन्य न चन्यवर्ति अस्ति तत्वतः. Everything in this entire material manifestation is coming from Krishna only. In this world, man, they possess some things because the things exist out of that man. But that is not the case with you. Everything is inside you only. So what will you possess? And elaborate purport is given by Hridayan Maharaj, tells that actually Lord does not merely control his creation, he actually is the source of the entire creation. Everything is existing in him only. So therefore, Nishkinchana means, it implies a very significant understanding. To state that if somebody is telling that a person possesses something, that means he is not possessing other things. But that is not the case with Krishna. Krishna is not just supreme being, he is the absolute being from whom everything is coming. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate. So therefore, what is there to possess? Because everything is coming from him only. Then she is telling, oh, you told that I am dear only to beggars, right? Nishkinchana jana priya. But let me tell you one thing. Even devatas, the wealthiest of the people of the universe, they are coming and offering tributes to you. How can you say that? They are regularly coming and making offerings. So actually, Lord, he spoke so many things so that he can see the anger. But Rukmini, they didn't express anger. But now she is expressing anger while she is answering, refuting all the arguments. And in one of the further verses, she'll tell that, how can you foolishly think like this? So angrily, she's now telling all these things. Now you are telling that only Nishkinchana worship you, or devatas are also worshipping you. How can you tell like this? Actually, everything is belonging to you, and what they can give you, they have nothing to give. Just like somebody goes to the Ganga and offer the water of Ganga to the Ganga, just like a small child takes some money from his father and buys some gift for the father. Everything is belonging to father only. So what these devatas will give, they are also beggars only. Then she continues. Krishna told, look, marriage and friendship should happen between equals. Vivah and Maitri. So Rukmini Devi, she tells, oh my lord, you yourself are the ultimate aim of the life of all the living entities. And only unintelligent person will abandon you. Anybody who is intelligent, he will never abandon you. They will never abandon you for material things of the world. So therefore, when it comes to marriage and friendship, it is not right comparison with you, because you are not material object of the world. So only intelligent person will hanker for you only. And then she's telling the ninth argument, refuting. Krishna told Bhikshu be shlagita mudha. Are I am glorified only by beggars. You know. So she's telling, oh Krishna, oh my Lord, you know who are these beggars? They are not ordinary people. They are great Paramhamsas. They have given up everything to glorify you. They are not ordinary people. And then, you know, she refutes the 10th argument in which Krishna had put two accusations against Rukmini. He had told, Vaidarbhi etad avigyaya tvaya adirgha samikshaya. So Krishna had told, oh Vaidarbhi, you are ignorant. You are not aware of the situation. You are avigyaya. And adirgha samikshaya, you are not far-sighted. You have just, married me because of some short-sighted behavior. So Rukmini Devi, she is telling, actually, I chose you because of all the above mentioned qualities. I have already seen and analyzed. Shruttva gunan bhuvana sundara shinvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akilartha labham tvayachyuta vishati chittama patrapam me. Rukmini is offering her heart in the first prayer, first letter, first verse. I am not short-sighted. I have seen all this. Since my childhood, I am hearing about you. So therefore, it is not a short-sighted decision. I have chosen you as my husband after considering all the above-mentioned qualities. And let me tell you, all the other personalities which you are telling me to marry, even I don't even consider Brahma, Shiva, and all the directors of the universe, worthy of marrying, because they are themselves frustrated. They may be the greatest personalities, but they are themselves frustrated by time factor. They also die. They also have to suffer so much. So therefore, don't think I have made a wrong decision. And then she started expressing the symptoms of sthai bhav or of anger, more. She tells, oh Krishna, you are telling that, you are afraid of those kings. That's why, you took shelter in the ocean. But let me tell you, when you came to kidnap me, all those kings were there standing. And just like a lion drives away the lesser animals and claims his tribute, Are, you drove away and you defeated all those kings and took me. How can you tell foolishly? You're so out of foolishness, you are telling, oh Gadagraja. So she is telling Krishna to be fool. Out of foolishness only you are telling that you took shelter of the ocean out of fear, out of, because you are afraid. So that's how now she is actually expressing all those anger. And then she tells, oh Krishna, you told that the men who suffer, who follow my path will suffer. But let me tell you, great enlightened kings and intelligent kings, they have given up their entire kingdom, their wealth, everything just to worship you. Were they foolish? They were not foolish. They were most intelligent. That's why they were worshipping you. That's why they gave up everything. They were wisest of all the men. That's why they were worshipping you. And certainly they will not be frustrated. Therefore, how can you tell like this? So in this way, Rukmini, she refuted 11th argument. And then she tells, you are telling that you had no good qualities. You are bereft of all the good qualities. Gunair hina. So Rukmini Devi, she is telling, Kanyam shrayet tava pad saroj gandham agraya sanmukharitam janatapavargam lakshmyalayam tvava abhiganaya gunalayasya Martya sadorubhayamartha vivikta drishti. So she's telling you are calling yourself as Gunair Hinam. But Are what Kanya, what women would take shelter of any other man after experiencing the aroma of your lotus feet? Agraya Sanmukharitam Janatapavargam. Are that aroma of the lotus feet can give liberation to the great saints. Even four Kumaras, when they smelled the aroma of the tulsi which was offered on the feet of the Lord, they became devotees. Tasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulsi makaranda vayu antargata swavivarena chakara tesham sanshobham aksharajusham apichitta tannavo. When they smelled that aroma, they became agitated with feelings of devotion. So Rukmini Devi is telling, Are, what women will give up your shelter and take shelter of other man? Because the aroma of your lotus feet can give liberation. Lakshmi Alam, Are, you are the shelter of goddess of fortune. Avigannaya Gunalayasya, Are, you are Gunalaya. You are calling yourself Gunaya Hina. You are Gunalaya. That's why Lakshmi Devi, who is Chanchal, she is not giving up your lotus feet. All the universe is desiring her favor and she is fixed up at your lotus feet. Are, who is that mortal woman who will not take shelter of your lotus feet, O my Lord? That's how she is refuting. And then she tells that, Oh my Lord, you are only suitable for me. That's why I have given up everything to serve you. So please show me one mercy. Give me that benediction that your lotus feet may always stay in my heart and I may never get it, entangled in this material existence. Out of humility, she is telling like this. And then in 2 verses, she condemns with anger all those kings which Krishna had praised, Jarasandh, Shishupal, Shalva, Rukmi, and Dantavakra. So she is now going to condemn all those kings. She's telling, let those kings you named, they become the husband of those women who had never heard your glories. Anybody who has even heard your glories once, they will never marry those kings. Are those kings, in the household life, these kings are like the asses, ox, dogs, cats, and slaves. So heavy gali she's abused. She's giving. She's telling they're like donkeys. They're like asses. You know why? Are they are kicked by their wives. Yah karoti padakrantan bhruvij rimbhena kevalam. It is described. Somebody may be king, conquering so many of the powerful people, but when he enters the house, the bedroom, he becomes the pet dog, being kicked, just like a donkey being kicked by the she donkey. Very heavy words she's using. And they're like ox. They are carrying the heavy load of family life, doing so many things. They're like dogs. While they're like dogs, they have to protect their house. So many problems keep coming. They have to protect their kingdom, protect their house. And they're like cats. They'll eat the leftovers of their wife, thinking that, oh, this is very loving thing. And they are like servants. They're humbly serving their wives. I am not interested in any of these. Let such men become the husband of lower women who have never heard your glories. And then she tells, a woman who fails to relish the fragrance of your lotus feet, O my Lord, they only accept a living entity as their husband who is nothing than the living corpse. They are living corpse covered by abominable substances like skin, nails, beard, hair, pus, mucus, stool, and everything else, all the non-abominable things. Let them marry. So, therefore, in this verse, Rukmini Devi is telling how material sense gratification is so very obnoxious. What people are enjoying, it is a body which is, filled with all the obnoxious things. And then she's telling out of her humility, oh my Lord, you told that you are always satisfied within. I accept that, but please bless me that I may always be steady at your lotus feet. I know you are Atma Ram, but please show me this mercy. I know you're always satisfied. You are Aptakam, you are Purnakam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he writes that actually you are very attached to me. He's telling the heart of Rukmini Devi, because Rukmini Devi, she also heard when Brahmana went to Krishna, what Krishna told, just like she is eager and hankering to marry me, I am also thinking and I cannot sleep whole night. So she knows that, oh, you are attached to me. And she's telling, if you are attracted to me, then I am your internal potency. If you are detached, indifferent to me, then I am your external potency. So that's how she is telling. And then she is telling out of her humility, actually, I don't consider your words false, O Madhusudan. But, what can I do? Unmarried woman is always attracted to a man, just like the Amba. She was attracted to Shalva. So you are teaching all the men the nature of a woman through me. So that's how she is humbly telling. She's telling, actually, the mind of an immoral woman, it is always hankering for newer and newer lovers. So one should never get attracted and influenced by such women. So Krishna, when he heard all these wonderful refutations from Rukmini, then he starts speaking. साध्व्येत श्रोतुकामयिस्त्वं राजपुत्री प्रलम्बिता मयोदितं यदन्वात्त सर्वं तत्सत्यमेव हि. O Rajaputri, O King, O the daughter of King, whatever you have said is truth. Actually, I was just deceiving you, cheating you by speaking all those words. And I'm so very pleased by hearing all this. यान्यान् काम्यसे कामान् मया कामाय भामिनि santi hi ekant bhaktaya stava kalyani nityada. And then because Rukmini Devi, she prayed, oh my Lord, please show mercy. So now he is fulfilling all the desires. Yanyan kamyase, whatever you have benedictions you want, it will be fulfilled. In order to become free from the material life, whatever benediction you want, you will get, because you are my unalloyed devotee. And then he tells, now I have seen first hand I have seen pure love and unalloyed devotion you have for your husband. And therefore, I saw that although I tried to shake you with my words, but you are, very strong and steady. So I am so very pleased. Ye mam bhajanti dampatye tapasa vratacharyaya kamatmano apavargesham mohita mama maya. But, he tells, Krishna is telling, but those people who are in the family life and they are worshipping me, mam bhajanti, by penances, by austerities, by vrata, so many things they are doing. What do they want? Kamatma. They have their mind attached in sense gratification. They don't understand that I can give liberation. But foolishly, they are hankering for the mundane material sense gratification. Actually, they are bewildered by my material energy. And they are unfortunate. They are so very unfortunate that they are hankering for material riches, which is all temporary. Material happiness is available everywhere. Even in hellish situations, it is available. So a person should not hanker for that. Oh, Rukmini, you have always been faithful to your, to the service. And actually, there is no wife as loving as you. You are so very loving. You have given your entire life for serving. Actually, I saw your dedication. When your brother was killed, you did not speak anything out of fear that I leave you. You did not speak a word. So therefore, in this way, Shukdev Goswami ends the chapter by telling that in this way, Lord enjoyed so many pastimes with Rukmini like a ordinary, mundane husband, but he is always transcendental. So this is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai.